can end up going after insects and animals that are good for gardens, such as hummingbirds. Number 11. Flesh flies. House flies aren't exactly sanitary insects, but they're downright dainty compared to flesh flies. If that name literally makes your skin crawl.
Yo, what's good, everybody? This is Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we're back at it with another reaction video. And this one is actually top 20 scariest insects on Earth. And I wanted to do this because my channel does revolve around science and technology in some type of way. And so I wanted to do more stuff in reflection of that. And, I grew up, catching and having insects and different things like that. And there's some pretty crazy stuff out there. So Watch Mojo just dropped this and I thought it would be interesting. So let's see what these scariest insects on Earth are. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the like, make sure to hit the subscribe, notification bell. And if you want to support me directly, I do have my first manga comic out. This is actually the first cannabis manga, and it's called The Most Random Manga Ever. So link in the description for that. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this.
Had some insects right away. The audience went, ew.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 scariest insects.
No.
For this list, we're looking at the most unsettling insects and arachnids found around the world. Which of these insects creeps you out the most? Let us know in the comments.
That freaking thing.
Number 20, scorpion fly. If you saw a scorpion fly, you might think one of the most irritating insects has bred with one of the scariest arachnids.
Yes.
This winged creature has a tail that resembles a scorpion's intimidating stinger.
Oh my god.
However, this is less for defense and more for romance. Scorpion flies do not sting. Their tails are actually claspers that the males use for mating. It's not an easy love life though, as male scorpion flies have to give their female companions the right gift to not be killed.
What?
This is typically something like another dead insect for her to feast on. If you find a scorpion fly in your garden, you might be a little taken aback. But like with most insects, you have nothing to fear. Number 19, Brahmin moth caterpillar.
Ugh.
When we think of insects that give us the creeps, we tend
You see look at that. Ugh.
to not think of caterpillars.
I am a cute little bumblebee. Here I come.
That's because we're usually not thinking of the Brahmin moth caterpillar.
Oh my
The
goodness.
larval version of the Brahmin moth, these caterpillars look like they came out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
They have barbed tails and protruding appendages on their heads that are useful for camouflaging among branches, safe from predators. These caterpillars might not look like the friendliest insects, but have no fear, they are completely harmless. All they want is to survive and enjoy long and prosperous moth lives.
Oh my god.
Number 18, giant weta.
What
Unless you're from New Zealand, you
world?
probably have no idea what a
my
weta
goodness.
is, much less a giant one. There are actually 11 types of giant weta, and some reach a length of about 4 inches.
Oh,
They look like
God.
grasshoppers from another dimension.
Yeah.
So it's appropriate that the genus name, Dinocrita, literally translates to terrible grasshopper.
Do they jump? Do they fly?
Oh
So
my
they're totally
goodness,
flightless.
yo.
They've got really good camouflage.
Oh, and weta derives from Wetapunga, which in Maori translates to God of Ugly Things.
Oh
Although
my
these
goodness.
creatures are unsettling, they pose no threat, at least not to humans. During mating season, male wetas attract mates by annihilating each other with their huge pinchers. They might not be pretty, but they're definitely powerful. Number 17, venomous pus caterpillar. The Brahmin moth caterpillar looks scary but is harmless. The venomous pus caterpillar looks friendly but is extremely dangerous,
Oh my
which you
goodness.
might figure based on its name. These caterpillars have large coats of bristles resembling fur on fluffy animals. But whatever you do not touch them. If you do, you'll likely be stung by their spines.
Oh
See
my
all those little
goodness.
legs? Like suction cups that allows him to move up and down tree trunks and his mouth is on the end of his head.
And this isn't mild irritation
Like
either.
it's got a little
The pain has been described in excruciating terms, from feeling like having a bone broken to causing breathing problems and more.
I had never seen him screaming like that before. It broke my heart.
Thankfully, pus caterpillars aren't so common that you're likely to encounter one. But if you are stung, act quickly by applying an ice pack and a therapeutic cream. You can look, but you better not touch.
Oh my goodness.
Number 16, carnivorous Amazonian centipede. You wouldn't expect something with this name to be docile, would you? The carnivorous Amazonian centipede is the biggest centipede in the world, and it also has one of the biggest appetites. This insect grows as long as 14 inches.
What?
It also feasts on so many different kinds of animal species, including other insects, reptiles, and birds.
What?
Thanks to their potent venom, they can take down the likes of snakes and other creatures bigger than it. While these bites are extremely painful for humans, they usually aren't fatal. Nonetheless, we do not blame you for not planning any trips to the Amazon anytime soon.
Oh my goodness.
Number 15, assassin bug. While this insect's name is certainly scary, it's actually a bit of a misnomer. Assassin bug bites are very uncomfortable, but they aren't fatal, to humans at least. They stab other insects and animal species with sharp, curved beaks and let their venom do the rest of the work.
I don't want him walking on me. That's why I have my gloves on, because of that ferocious beak that he has.
They don't just go after insects that are directly bothering them either. Assassin bugs are constantly on the move, looking for any and all prey. If you're a gardener, this is good news because they stop vegetation enemies like caterpillars and aphids. Keep a good distance if you see an assassin bug, but let them be. They're providing pro bono security for your plants.
Watching the assassin bug move
Looks like I
is
got
like
it.
watching a Shaolin kung fu master walking across rice paper. Gentle, silent, careful. Not a single mark, not
Gotta
even the
get
most
one of
minute
those.
noise. No wonder it's called the assassin bug.
I got offered a
got
show where
that
they
little-
throw you into space.
Got your
I
little
wanted to do a reality
ads.
show where
Go
they shoot me into
ahead.
space. That'd be a good show.
Number 14, Goliath beetle. We don't know of any David beetles primed to take on this insect.
That thing
Is
is
that a
like...
prop or is that real?
Now that's real. That's
Oh,
one of the largest
my
That's a
beetles
toy,
in
isn't
the
it?
world. That's a Goliath beetle.
The genus Goliathus contains 5 species, and they're all some of the biggest insects on the planet. These hulking black and white beetles live in African countries such as Liberia, Nigeria, and Ghana. They stay safe through their dense
Hey, I'm part
exoskeletons and 4 wings.
Nigerian. I got that.
That's all right. Wait a minute.
Leave a comment if you've done your ancestry and let me know what you are.
They can also fly via a set of hind wings. Other evolutionary advantages include horns on the
man.
male beetles, useful for fighting enemies, and the female.
You know, these things look so crazy, but like honestly, being a person that used to like catch and collect them, like I would honestly have like a whole army of these joints. This and the assassin joint, like, yo, nobody would be messing with my plants or nothing. They would get mollywopped.
Females' heads, which they use for digging holes to lay their eggs in.
The thing looks
Thankfully,
so
they don't pose much of a threat to
surreal.
humans, though they can pinch with their mandibles if you get too close.
Oh, man.
Number 13, hornets.
Yo,
What's the difference
that
between a
thing
hornet and a
looks
wasp? A hornet is
crazy.
actually a kind of wasp. If you've never faced a
Kind
hornet's
of
wrath, you're doing something right.
These are hornet stings, you know? I run into like a lot of
Yo.
like, hornets in my line of work, and I get stung
Even
up
like
like
if
bad
you
all over
love
my face and
Always
stuff.
These
Sunny in
insects are
Philadelphia.
big and bad, with stings that can be fatal, especially for
that
people
thing
with
looks
allergies.
crazy. Look
They
at
also
that
tend to be
shit.
bigger than other
Look
wasps,
at their
making them
freaking
even more foreboding.
stinger.
You can identify a hornet's nest by its distinctive football-like shape. Don't want to be stung by a hornet? Leave them alone and they'll do
Yeah.
the same for you.
Yeah.
Still, it is hard to feel calm in the presence of these insects. Number 12, praying mantis.
Oh,
Praying
man.
mantises are beautiful
They look
insects
so
that can be useful at
crazy
helping
up
rid
close.
gardens of invasive insects. However, they are also kind of terrifying, at least in terms of some mating rituals. Up to 28% of mantis mating rituals end with the male's head being devoured by the
No.
ones in the wild, however. Their hunting skills are also enhanced by their quick reflexes, excellent vision, and ability to turn their heads without moving the rest of their bodies. Their eagerness to chow down on other creatures can have some drawbacks, though. They can end up going after insects and animals that are good for gardens, such as hummingbirds. Number 11. Flesh flies. House flies aren't exactly sanitary insects, but they're downright dainty compared to flesh flies. If that name literally makes your skin crawl, wait till you hear that they like to breed in and dine on feces and rotting substances. Then, when it's time to give birth, they seek out open wounds to leave their maggots. So, if you need another good reason to bandage your cuts and scrapes, here it is. However, if you're in forensics, flesh flies are less disgusting and more useful. Their maggots can help murder investigations determine a time of death. Would forensic flies be a more generous handle?
Yeah.
Number 10. Army ants. Even the most experienced soldiers are no match for army ants.
I know you will all do your duty. I am proud to send you into battle.
I'm sorry, into battle?
Dismiss.
These insects are ruthless, taking down any creature or plant that gets in their way. This can be devastating for ecosystems. Army ants' ferocious jaws are sharp enough to not only consume humans, but elephants as well.
Elephants?
These ants, found in parts of Africa and Asia, display strength in numbers.
Oh my goodness.
A single colony can consist of around 20 million army ants. That helps explain why they can end the lives of 100,000 other creatures per day. We have one piece of advice about encountering army ants. Retreat. Number 9. Giant silkworm assassin caterpillar.
What?
Is this list changing your perception of caterpillars or what?
Yeah.
The giant silkworm assassin caterpillar is an incredibly potent creature, only found in South America. These caterpillars are also known as killer caterpillars and have been named the most venomous caterpillar by Guinness World Records. Like other caterpillars, they have bristles for protection.
Oh my
However,
goodness.
theirs go on an extra level, as these bristles are dangerously venomous.
Yeah.
Once assassin caterpillars evolve into moths, however, this danger is gone. Still, it's better to be safe than sorry if you're ever tempted to handle an unfamiliar insect. Number 8. Tarantula hawk. It's neither.
Yeah. With that being said, y'all can check out the full video. I don't want to do the whole thing in case of copyrights or different things like that. But let me know which one was the craziest to y'all so far. Man, I don't know, man. That seeing that assassin's freaking caterpillar and that scorpion and the flesh, the maggot was the flesh flies. Nah, that was just I couldn't even deal with that. But anyways, let me know what y'all thought. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comment section. Again, this is Mr. Composition MC that writes fiction. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you want to support me directly, I have my first manga comic out, the first cannabis manga, not the first cannabis comic, but the first cannabis manga. It is written traditional manga style from back to front, and it's in all color, 11 issues, the most random manga ever. And you can read 8 issues for free on my website. So link in the description. Check out my most recent song, Invincible Summer. And I also have a fiction book, a psychological thriller called Ideas of Illusion. So all that, link in the description. Peace.
In the darkness, turn the galaxy into my office. Translating thoughts into deep science. Got the sun in my pocket, build your resilience. So when the next winter cycle comes, I prepare with no losses. The work of the soloists of boss. At the heart of my winter, there's an invincible summer. Invincible summer. Too strong. Yo, I thought I was a goner. At the heart of my winter, there's an invincible summer. Invincible summer.